Hey guys, it's Mel. Welcome to my weekly packing orders video where I show you all the books that I sold on eBay over the weekend. Now this weekend we did have a long weekend. Yesterday it was Australia Day, so we've got an extra day's worth of sales here. I will say that two of the days, Monday and Saturday, were my two lowest days that I've had all month of January actually. So I kind of had thought I wouldn't have as many orders here to pack, but I have just got so many multi-orders here that I think I still had 170 items that I needed to pick today. So there's around about 100 orders, but yeah, 170 actual books that I had to go and pick. So what I've done is I've actually picked about just over half of them now, and I'm going to wrap them up and get them. I'm worried there's going to be a thunderstorm and I might have to race some of the parcels as quickly as I can up to the post office. So I'm going to do this in two batches today. Julie Goodwin's Homemade Takeaway. This book has sold for $22.99. Julie Goodwin is one of Australia's original master chefs, and in my opinion, one of the best. She makes delicious home-cooked recipes, and they're not like fancy like some of the chefs try and do, just delicious home-cooked recipes. Now, I'm not showing you these books in any order. These are just the orders that come through in my picking list. There's no I'm not trying to stack the books that are worth a lot of money towards the beginning. The best book that sold might be one of the last ones. Okay, this one we've got The Victorian Country House. This is a nice book. It's only a brand new listing, and I've sold it for $25. It came from within the cages. So nice quick sale on that one. The Victorian House. Rightio. Okay, what's up next? Rightio, this is a good one. Okay, this is a good one. We've got Food and Nutrition, Sustainable Food and Health Systems. This is a 4th edition, so more like a textbook. This one is sold for $45.99, and again, just listed this month, January 2025. $45.99, that's great. Another good bundle. This one was listed in August 2024, so it has been listed a little bit on the longer tail. It is 5 Vince Flynn fiction books. Now, I've sold this one for $50, so that's a great price, $50. Now, this one's been listed since September last year, Developing Early Literacy, Assessment and Teaching. So again, another teaching textbook. This one sold on a sale or a coupon or an offer for $24.01. I don't know where the 1 cent guys came from, but $24.01. All right, what's the next one? Okay. This was a pretty good bundle. This one is a set of Laura Childs. Now, this is a mystery series. There is 12 books in the series. When I bought these books, I paid 50 cents each, and I've just sold them for $55.99. So that is a great one as well, $55. So at 50 cents each, 12 books, that's a cost of goods of $6. So to sell it for $55.99, winner, winner. Righto, what's next? We got a little fiction book here. This is a brand new listing as well, The Binding Room by Nadine Matheson. I've not seen this one, but it's come out of the cages. That one has sold for $17.99. So that one would have gone on an offer because I've got them all listed for $19.99. So sending out an offer for 10% off would take that down to $17.99. Another brand new listing here. This is the Atlas of the World by Phillips. Now, this is a nice paper book version. A lot of the time when you find the atlases, they are big, heavy, hardcover books. I more often will find hardcover books than the paperback ones like this, but the atlases can sell well. They sell for teachers, they sell for people who are homeschooling, and I do find that the atlases, even though they are big and heavy and they do require a little bit more extra postage, I do find that they move quite well for me. Some of them move better than others, but yeah, $29.99, that one is just newly listed into the store. Now this one has been listed since December 23, so it is over a year old. And this is part of a collector series from our local supermarket here called Woolworths. Basically you spend, I don't know, $20 on supermarket groceries and they give you a little one of these packs of cards, and the idea is to collect all the cards, and they sell these little folders, and it's a big merchandise marketing ad to get you to go and spend more money because your kids want to collect the cards. And I do actually find that these sell afterwards, but it has taken a year to sell. It did sell for $29.99, which is still pretty good, but if I do see those collector cards, I do look at picking them up if they're cheap enough. Like if I can get them for like $1 or something for the whole folder, because often they just put it in with the books and they just think it's like a book. And yeah, they will sell for around that $25, $30 mark is what I find. Okay, now we've got another brand new fiction book that's just gone into the store, Shatter Your Bones. This one has sold for $19.99. It's come out of the cages. Okay, now I've got a bundle of J.D. Robb. Now, J.D. Robb is actually Nora Roberts, who writes as J.D. Robb. So Nora Roberts writes all like the women's kind of romance, chick lit, contemporary, modern fiction, but she writes the J.D. Robb series. Like the series is actually called In Death or Death, I think. I think it's just Death series. And there's, I don't know, I think I said last time there was maybe 30 books in the series, and someone told me there was like 60. Huge series. These ones are the medium-sized novels. They've been listed since October. I've let them go on an offer or a coupon or something. $38 they've sold for. This book has been listed since September 23, so it doesn't have a very fast sell-through rate. I wouldn't pick it up again. Material World 2, Innovative Materials for Architecture and Design. It's only sold for $17.99. So yeah, slow seller, low profits. Not an ideal book to have in your bookstore. But this one is an ideal book to have in your store. Okay, this is a great book here. I love selling this one. The Wholesome Child, Complete Nutritional Guide and Cookbook. This is a large book, very nice. This one was also signed, so I was able to command a little bit more of a higher price for it, signed by the author. This one is sold for $59.99. So yeah, fantastic book. Never lasts very long. That one has been listed since October, but I did have it priced a little bit higher because it was a signed copy. And so it's taken a little bit, but you know, if I wanted to move that book fast, I'd just have to reduce the price a little bit and boom, it would be out the door. It's a good book. It's a good book. Okay, now this order has come from a viewer named Faye, and Faye left me a little note that says she's been watching me from way back when I was in the storage unit. So that's a long time ago. It's a long time to watch me, so thank you so much, Faye. Faye has bought these two books for approximately about $25, $26. I'll tell you a story. I got so confused. I was trying to pick this book called Fast and Slow. And every time I was looking for it, and like the picture wasn't matching the book, the name of the book. Turns out it's actually got a double-sided cover. So this is the picture that was on the front of the listing. But I'm pulling out the book when I was picking it, and it's coming up with this page, and it took me so long. I was scanning that shelf over and over going, there must be a book here that's the same name, but it looks different. But no, it just simply had a different cover. So there you go. That one confused me. I'll have to check both sides to see if there's a price. Okay, no price. Anyway, we've got Slow Fast and Fast Slow, and we've got At My Mother's Knee. So 2 cookbooks going out to Faye. Thank you so much, Faye. I am very grateful. And yeah, that book, oh my goodness. It's really hard like that with 2 covers. Next time what I'll do is I'll put a little note on the SKU that says double cover, because it's not like you can take a photo of the 2 covers and then collage them together so it shows the 2 of them, because then somebody's going to think they're getting 2 books and you're going to get an item not as described. So I think that doesn't happen very often, but next time I'll make sure I remember to put a little memo in the SKU to let me know it's a double-sided cover, because yeah, that one got me today. We had a lot of rain here yesterday. So much rain. I've been thinking that it's going to rain again today, but it's very, very muggy in the warehouse today. So I hope I don't start to sweat. So I've got 3 books here going out to a viewer named Bronwyn. Thank you, Bronwyn. I've got 3 war and military books. One by Peter Rees, Lancaster Men. 2, another one called 617, Going to War with Today's Dam Busters. And then we've got Paul Han, Sandakan. That rhymes, doesn't it? Paul Han, Sandakan. Now, all 3 of these books, again, new listings into the store, brand new listings into the store. Another brand new listing. This one is called The Catch, Australia's Love Affair with Fishing. This one is sold for $19.99. Guess what? You got it. Another brand new listing into the store. This one is called Discover Gold. And this one, only new. So listed it, I don't know if I listed it for $25 or $29. Taken an offer anyway for $20 to get it, keep it moving out the door. But you can see there's a lot of new listings that are going out, like new listings that are desirable and move quickly. That is the ideal items that you want in your eBay store. Okay, this one has been listed since August 2024, Deliciously Healthy by the Heart Foundation. A very popular book. I can't even tell you how many times I would have sold this book over the last 5 years of selling books. Like so many times. But not a high earning book, obviously. That one sold for $19.99, like I said. Did take 6 months to move. I've probably got multiple of these books on my shelf, but like it's just one of those books that seems to come. Like I'm sure there'll be more of them in the cages when I start go through them, or on the cookbook shelf here. I'm sure there'll be more of that book. It's like a never-ending book that seems to keep coming through. Okay, now this one's been listed since February 2024, so almost a year. The Assassin's Cloak, an anthology of the world's greatest diarists. So yeah, that one has taken a little while to sell. So I sent it out, 40% offer to move it, and it sold for $13.21. So yeah, once it's been over there in my store now for over a year, I just want to keep moving them along because I've got all this great new stock to be putting into the store. I've got to keep the shelves clearing from the older stock. I got a bundle here of 8 assorted vintage Western books. So all different authors, totally different. The only thing they've got in common is that they're all Western books. Now, I've sold that bundle for $36.99. So that's pretty good. And I've got another like whole big haul down there that I showed in one of my videos the other day of all Western books that are very similar to like that. So yeah, bundling them up, $36.99. How long's that one been listed for? Just this month, January 2025. I've just listed that. Another new listing, guys. Another new listing. Okay, now we have got a bundle down here. Let me find it. I've got another book bundle here of 3 books. This has come from a repeat buyer. I'm not sure if they're a viewer, but they're definitely a repeat buyer. So thank you very much if they are watching. I've got a book called Cakes and Bakes from My Mother's Kitchen, The Encyclopedia of Baking, a practical guide, and the Big Book of Baking. So we can see the theme there, guys. They're all books about baking. And this is one thing that is very good for your store if you put similar types of books in, similar books on, it doesn't matter what genre it is, right? But if you've got lots of books on the same genre, it will be more enticing for somebody who's interested in that genre to come along and buy multiple books. And you'll see I get a lot of multiple sales here, and a lot of the times the multi-orders, they're all the same types of books, or they're all on the same kind of theme. Like, it's not that often that I get like a multi-bundle and the books are like just totally random and different. Like, that's always like quite interesting for me when that happens. But like getting multi-orders like this where they're all on the same topic, that is a very common occurrence. So when you've got nearly 7,000 listings in your store, you know, it's very easy to get a lot of books on the same topics, especially when you're shopping at similar stores as well. Like what is available for me to source down where I live or in my surrounding area, I often get a lot of the same types because you've got a lot of the same demographic of people who are dropping books off to the thrift shop. Whereas when I head up to like Sydney a few hours away, I quite often find different types of books, different genres, and I get a lot of different stuff than what I source locally to myself because it's a different demographic of people. Now I've got 2 more books going out, 2 fiction books by Linda Fairstein. She's not a popular selling author for me. These have gone out to a viewer and they've sold for $12, so I'm glad that they're going. These have actually been listed since 2022, which is way too long, way too long. She's not a fiction author that I want to pick up and put into my store. There's a lot of fiction that just is extremely slow selling or extremely saturated and doesn't move. There's other fiction that is quite trendy at the moment or will remain popular, but it's finding the fiction that is, there is way more fiction out there, guys, that is not popular than the fiction that is popular. And yeah, that one, Linda Fairstein, she's not an author that I really want to put into the store because she's just too slow and low end. Okay, now the next book is this one, which is called Beef Cattle in Australia. Doesn't have any kind of dust jacket or anything like that, but I don't know when it's been listed because it just has the shelf number in it where it says G3. It doesn't actually say what month I listed it, so that possibly means it's old. Even before I started doing that. I don't know, or else I just possibly forgot to put it on. Sometimes just a random thing forget. Sometimes it tells me that that would be from 2022 and earlier. But that one has sold for $29.99. My book stacks have got a little bit out of order because I've got all these multi-orders. I've got to make sure I don't put, if I've got a multi-order, then I'm putting all the books in for it. Okay, now this one, Evolve Your Brain. This one is just sold for $20, and guess what? It's just listed this month. Just listed. I think I had that one listed for $22 and it's sold for $20. So nice, quick, easy sale. Okay, now I've got 2 bundles here from Alicia. These have sold for $39.88. Now we've got some fantasy books here by Sarah Zettel, A Sorcerer's Treason and Camelot's Honor. And then she's also got this one, which is by Maria Snyder, 4 books in the series. And this series is like paranormal romance. So both of those books, she's paid about $39 for both of those books. I think I'm going to have to rewrap them just so they sit more flush in the packing. I put 2, I think that's better. Yep. Okay, see how that just sits much better than the other one, which was really tall. Okay, let's put that one in. Now this next multi-order of 3 books has been sold to a viewer named Paul. I'm going to read you his message. Hey Mel, love watching your videos. A few less cookbooks for you to inventory, lol. I've got these cookbooks to help give me some tips to improve my cooking and baking. So good on you, Paul. That's right. And he's got like 2 Italian cookbooks here. And he's also got a book, Cheesecakes, Cupcakes and Cookies. So there you go, Food of the World of Italy, cupcakes, and another big one here. This is a big cookbook, The Taste of Italy. So, Paul, I am presuming that you enjoy eating some pasta. Yummo, Friday. And who doesn't like cheesecake? I tell you what, but I can't cook cheesecake. Well, I like to eat it, but I can't cook it. Okay. This Nora Roberts book, The Becoming, I don't know if this is part of a trilogy or just part of a series, but it's the Dragon Heart Legacy series. And it's a very popular book. It always sells very easily and quickly for me. If I I've only once or twice maybe found like I'm sure it's a trilogy. So there's been 1 or 2 times where I've sold like 3 of them in a lot and they've gone really fast. But even as an individual, that has sold really well. Now, I'm not going to keep that on my shelf waiting to find the other couple of books to make the trilogy. I don't find it all that often. It's a fairly newish kind of book, and this one's in really good condition. So that's why I just listed this one straight away. Even though I would love to sell this as part of the set. I just know that by the time I find the set, I'll probably find it again and again. So I'm better off just to get this one listed. Now, that one sold for $19.99, and like I said, just newly listed. Now, this one's come from the old Hoarders Haul back in 2022. Gail Sheehy, Passengers in Men's Life. New Directions for Men at Midlife. So yeah, that one is sold for $16. Yeah, listed a long time, Now, this is a random order for you. I've sold a book about bulbs for the Australian gardener. An old listing, I've sold it at 40% off. But look at this, guys. I have got an old pair of shoes. I do have like a bucket out the back that's maybe got, I don't know, 4 or 5 pairs of shoes in it. I don't even know if they're all listed anymore. These ones obviously were. Thankfully, they were in the bucket and I didn't have to worry about not finding them. But yeah, really nice pair of like women's shoes here. But again, they've been listed a long time. The shoes, if I list shoes in my store, unless they sell straight away when they come up as like a new listing, they're going to get stale pretty quickly because I don't list shoes very often. It's not something that I've got to, nobody's coming to my store to look for shoes, are they? Nobody's coming there. So eBay normally favors you, like, so if you're somebody that sells multiple niches, so let's say for Tom, he sells CDs, DVDs, and books. Like if he does a big batch listing of heaps and heaps of books, he starts selling more and more books. If he lists heaps and heaps of CDs, he starts selling more CDs. So whatever you tend to list is basically what you will tend to sell more of. So if you sell, like if you want to sell books and shoes and CDs and jeans, so let's say you've got 4 different genres, which is perfectly fine. You can have different genres into your store, but you need to make sure you're mixing up what you're listing. Like if you want to be selling consistently some jeans, some shoes, some books, some CDs, you've got to be mixing up your listing and do a variety of them at all times to keep a variety of those items selling and so they don't start to go stale into your store. I'm pretty sure those shoes will be fine in that mailer like that. I've sent shoes in mailers before, but I'm just going to double mailer it just in case. They're not shoes that are like got a high heel or like they're flat, just flat and soft. If they were like a heel or something like that, then they would need a box. I used to love being a shoe seller. I liked photographing shoes. I don't know, there was something about shoes. I started with shoes when I was a reseller. That's how I got into reselling. I used to sell brand new pair of Nike shoes that I would buy out at the factory outlets, and I would buy these Nike shoes brand new in the box, and then I would flip them on eBay. And I was making like about a $20 profit on each pair of shoes, and I just kept going. And then every time I would sell a few pairs of these shoes, I'd go buy another few pairs of shoes. And yeah, that's basically how I got into reselling. And I only really stopped because Nike started to question me about why I was buying so many shoes and was I reselling. They wanted me to sign a waiver form to say that I wasn't reselling. And so that's when I kind of went, here I was, I had all my eggs in the Nike basket, buying from one outlet store that I had here locally. And then when that supplier started, you know, they didn't want me there buying all their shoes and reselling them. So that's when I had to start looking outside of the box, and I had to pivot. And that's when I went into clothing and secondhand shoes and books as well. And I started being a little bit of an everything seller. And that's basically how my whole reselling journey went until COVID hit. And then I couldn't even get any clothes because all the shops were shut. So, you know, I started sourcing more and more books from Facebook Marketplace, and next minute I was a bookseller. That's how it goes sometimes. Okay, this is a book, The Practice of Watercolor Painting. This one has been listed since May 23. I don't particularly find the painting, the art books, I don't know, maybe because I don't have a lot of them in my store. I don't tend to find them a very successful niche. However, to say that, I don't think it's that they're not a successful niche. It's just that I haven't learnt enough about them, and I don't have enough of them in my store to really know, like, I just haven't done enough research to know what the hot painting and art books are that sell really fast and really quickly. But it is a genre that I should learn because I'm very familiar with many of the other niches, and so any of these other niches that I'm not familiar with, I always want to become more familiar with them. And the other thing is, whenever you go to like a book fair or something, the resellers don't all run to the art books. So there's a lot of untapped books in there that are actually worth money that everyone's leaving on the table because people just don't know about it. When you don't know, it's a bit like classical music, right? In CDs, there's a lot of money to be made in classical music. But if you're not familiar with classical music, it's really hard to look at all that classical CDs and go, ooh, which one is worth the money? Because like everyone's familiar with like AC/DC and Bon Jovi and Pink or Kylie Minogue, whatever. Do you know what I mean? We all know those artists, but like a lot of people don't know who's who in the classical realm, and there's a lot of money to be made on that, and there's a lot of money always left on the tables because people leave what they don't know. So it's really that's actually something that resellers should be doing. Start researching these genres that you don't actually know much about, because there's a lot of people that don't know much about them, and you can end up dominating these niches because if everyone else is leaving them, woohoo to you, you're going to go get them all. Okay, now this one is sold for $15.41. It's called Hardy Country, and it's been listed since December 23. Thomas Hardy, he's a he's a artist, I think. Again, art, see, I don't know anything. That one has sold for $15.41. Listed too long in my store. I tell you what, but I bet you any money in one of the cages, there's going to be like a whole lot of art books. And guess who's going to have to learn? Art. Me. I'm going to get to that cage and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to go, ugh. And I'm going to dread it because it's not something that I know and it's easy, like with the fiction books or the cookbooks. I've sold so many of them because I get so many of them that I'm like familiar with them. So I can just go through those cages really quickly. Once I get to the art cage, which I'm sure there'll be one, oh yeah, I'm going to dread it, but it's a good experience for me and I'm going to learn a lot. And then once I know that genre, watch out to anyone else who's selling art books because I'm coming for you. Okay, I got another multi-order here from Katrina. Now, this one, she's got the best lunchbox ever, The War Nurses. Guess what? New listing. Before I forget, Jeffrey Blaney, new listing. Those, and The Queen, Her Lover, and the Most Notorious Spy in History. Again, another new listing. Those three have all come like brand new listings from the cages and stuff. This one is the Marshall Cavendish Book of Needlecraft. This is a popular vintage needlecraft book, and I said that, didn't I? The best lunchbox box recipes ever. Now, she paid about $58 for all of those books. The book, a lot of the books from the cages are selling actually quite quickly for me. I guess I am pricing them to move fairly fast. Like, I'm not trying to be like at the top of the pricing for these books. I'm just trying to well, some of the fiction books I put at $19.99, which is more than a lot of other sellers. So I do put them all at that $19.99 mark, and then I can run coupons or deals or something. But yeah, it is good, and knowing that there's still so much more there to list, hopefully whatever I list, I can move it all fairly quickly. Okay. Now I've sold a bundle here of Indian cookbooks. Now these ones have sold on a coupon deal for $32. 4 books here, A Taste of India, India in 6 minutes, Indian cooking, Indian home cooking. So again, none of them were fancy, expensive, high-end cookbooks. They're probably just all low-end cookbooks, but bundling them together on the same topic, you know, it's a topic that Indian cuisine is a popular cuisine, and 4 books gives value. So $32 for 4 books, great price for 4 cookbooks. Now I've got another multi-order here, and there is 20 books in this multi-order. So this bundle has come from Julie, and yes, Julie is a viewer of mine. So one of the books is a bundle of 2, so it's 19 books and 1 set of 2, so 20 books. Now I've already got them into orders here, so surprisingly 20 books, I'm able to get them into 2 mailers. So I'll show you what's going out in the first mailer here and how we wrap it up. We've got Izzy and Eve, an erotic thriller. Life's Too Short to Fold Fitted Sheets, your ultimate guide to domestic liberation. Marion Keyes, Grown Ups. A Wealth of Women, The Passenger, The Bookshop on Jacaranda Street, The Imitator, The End, it's another novel, and The Year of the Farmer. So none of those books are new listings. They're all older listings. Probably, maybe Julie's got them all in like one of my discount sales. So I should look up how much has Julie paid. Well, I can't even see her full total because she's done them a little bit separate. So this one came to $160, and then there was another lot, which I've combined in here, but I think it was around $50. So Julie, thank you very, very much for such a huge order. And Julie actually sent a nice message saying, Mel, if you can't find the orders, there's no rush for my books. Take as long as you need. And guess what, Julie? I found all your books very quickly. Thank goodness. Because when you see an order come through with 20 books, you're like, holy moly, I hope I can find these. And yeah, very, very, very grateful that all of these books, I don't think there was one that was hard to find. They just were all easy. So, winner, winner. Okay. Okay, now this is part 2 of Julie's order. We've got the Mindfulness Toolbox. We've got Restless by William Boyd. We've got 100 Strokes of the Brush Before Bed. We've got The Red Earth. We've got Maybe the Horse Will Talk. Maybe the Horse Will Talk. We've got 2 books here on the human brain, How the Brain Thinks and The Human Brain, a guided tour. Not Just Lucky, Why Women Do the Work But Don't Take the Credit, Calming Your Angry Mind, Mind Shift, Break Through the Obstacles to Learning and Discover Your Hidden Potential, and Prick with a Fork, The World's Worst Waitress Spills the Beans. That one sounds funny. So I love it. Now that is quite the assortment of different books. And I think Julie's got a lot of reading here. A lot of reading. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why I bundle these into separate lots like this with the 2 of them, if I try and bundle all those books together, like it just doesn't work. So it just, it's too hard. It's just too hard. So I bundle them in like 2 separate ones, and then I bundle them together. My hand goes under, the wrap goes around my hand to support it. And then this book here. Oh, Julie, I think I forgot to like take the pencil marks out of your orders. Right, now when you send it like that, there's so much less chance of any damage when it's all wrapped up into like a nice tight little package there. Like, it's not going to move around in the post bag or get damaged in any way. I think the cling wrap, they call it mini shrink wrap. I think it's one of my favorite things that I use in the whole business. I'm so glad I found it. I think it's amazing. I just saw another order come through. Like, it's just non-stop. I've still got about, I don't know, 50 orders or 50 items still to pick. Right, now this book, which is a really nice gardening book, The Essential Plant Guide, it has been listed since September 2023. So this book has not sold quickly for me. I've sold it for $29.99. Possibly if I'd had that book priced around $22, $23, it would have moved quicker. So maybe it was just priced a little bit high, but it's a really nice book. So I think that buyer will be happy with that book. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Accounting. This book has been listed since March 2024. So coming up like that 9-month mark, a little bit late. This book is sold for $15.99, but these books, like the Complete Idiots and stuff, they're popular books for self-help and everything, but they don't sell for very much money, like normally around that, you know, $15 to $22 mark. Okay, now this is going out to a repeat buyer named Louise. Louise and I have been going back and forth. She wanted to make an offer on my magazines, but it wouldn't let her make an offer even though the offers were turned on, and I didn't have the option to send her an offer, and so we've been going back and forth. It's been a little bit of a rigmarole, but anyway, she's managed to order her 3 bundles today at the price that she's wanted to get them. So she's ordered these magazines. They're called Gems and Gemology, and I'm pretty sure she ordered a bundle from me a week ago or something, and now she's come back for more. So one of the bundles had 12 in it, the other one had 9 magazines in it. The bundle with 12 was a tight fit coming into the mailer, but we got it. This bundle of 9 will go in easier. I think they were around $60 a bundle, and then she's got them on the 40% off deal. So I'm not sure what that's taken them all down to, but yeah, they've been listed for a while, those magazines, and I want to get the magazines out the door. Now, I've got 2 books here on Australian birds, and these are going out to Wendy. Now, Wendy is a repeat buyer. She's bought from me in the past, but she's also just sent like a really nice little message that says she's bought a couple of books from me in the past, and I recognize her name. I've been following your YouTube adventures for many years, and I'm extremely happy to see that life is going well for both you and Tom and the business and your family. Keep kicking goals and be happy. Thanks, from Wendy. So, Wendy, that is awesome. And I recognise the name. Sometimes when I see these repeat buyers, I actually recognise the name, and I recognise Wendy's name. So I think she's bought from me a few times. So thank you very much, Wendy. You are a legend. Okay, let me put this in. Ugh. Right. I can't see this book in my phone. It's obviously got mixed up in between some orders. It's called The Rations Challenge, 40 Days of Feasting in a Wartime Kitchen. How interesting is that? Imagine if you did 40 days of feasting in a wartime kitchen. That would make such a interesting series to document, or either on video or on Instagram, or that'd be so interesting to film that and watch it. Now I got another viewer's order. Guys, I'm so thankful for all my viewer orders. Thank you, Jess, for this order. This is Back to the Future. Now this is only a new listing, and this is a pretty cool book, you know, illustrated book all about Back to the Future, the movie. That one is sold for $35.99. Again, January listing. This book is another January listing, Women's Stuff by Kaz Cook, very popular book. And yeah, that one is sold for $19.80. And then this book is an older book from 2022, Simply Budgets, Take Control, Escape the Stress of the Money Worries. Oh, the money worries. Escape the stress of the money worries. That is something. That is a book that many of us need. Okay, Jess, thank you so much. Let me put this little card in. I got another big multi-order here from another viewer named Lisa. Hi Mel, I really enjoy watching your YouTube channel. It's so inspiring to see you challenge yourself, hit those goals and stretch even further. Thanks for always sharing your tips and stories, from Lisa. P.S. I hope you've pulled the slow cooker out. I haven't pulled my slow cooker out. I need to. I've got a slow cooker at my house, and Tom's got an Instapot at his house, and I've never used an Instapot. And he's like, oh, it's the same thing. And I'm like, but is it the same thing? I don't think it is the same thing. This book is by Jay-Z, and it's the book's called Decoded, and it's illustrated with Jay-Z, the musician. It's been listed since May last year. It's only sold for $20. It wasn't in very good condition, but yeah, May 2023. Okay, this one, what do we got here? Okay, we got a hard fiction book here. This one's by Stephanie Lawrence. She writes historical romance, Where the Heart Leads. Nice hardcover book. This one's been listed since September last year. She's a popular author, the old Stephanie Lawrence. Another book that's just been listed in January. This one is the Reader's Digest Do-It-Yourself Manual. This one has sold for $25.99. So guys, you can see that I've been selling a lot of newly listed items, and my last video that I made, which came out this morning actually, but if you go back to the one before this one, I was talking about the importance of listing like regularly and consistently into your store. And this is the reason, because those new listings, they bring you more sales. They make you more money. The more new sales you've got going into the store, the more activity it's bringing to your eBay business. And very, very important not to stop listing consistently. Even like me, I've got 100 other tasks that need my attention, but I have to maintain and keep listing as well, because you can see how many of these sales are new listings. And if I didn't have these going into my store, think of all the money that I've missed out from these new listings. Right, now this bundle has been listed since September last year, and it is 6 books, all by Daniel Silva. And he's just like crime, thriller, suspense, action. They're all the keywords that you would use for him. General fiction books, 6 of them. Those ones have sold for $59.99, so that's a great price. This book has been listed since September 23, so it's been listed a long time. The Common Sense Cook, it's sold for $34.88, which is a great price for a cookbook, and it's honestly not like that big, or doesn't take up very much room. But yeah, it has definitely been sitting there for a little bit too long. September 2023. $34.88. I got 2 Julie Goodwin cookbooks here now. Julie Goodwin was the first cookbook that I packed in today's orders. It was one of her other cookbooks. This is a bundle of 2. These ones have sold for $26. They've been listed since October last year. This one's been listed since September 2024. It's by Heston Blumenthal, who is a celebrity chef. Heston's Fantastical Feasts. This book has sold for $19. Okay, I got 4 books here by a repeat buyer named Tony. Now, this is the Great Big Cookie Book, and Knead Expert Breads. Then we got the Women's Weekly Kitchen Favourite Recipes. And we've got Kylie Kwong, who specialises in Asian cuisine. She's quite a celebrity chef. And this book is called My China. This is a beautiful book. Nice hardcover, almost like a coffee table book. So where are we? The cookie book has been listed since January 2023. The Knead book has been listed since August 2023. Kylie Kwong has been listed since July 24. And this one is just a new listing in it, January 25. So we've got a little bit of a mix there of old and new listings. Those books are very heavy. You've got the Kylie Kwong book, which is a large hardcover, the Women's Weekly, the blue recipe book, another hard one. And this one, even though it's only a paperback, is still quite a heavy book. It's got like quite thick, shiny pages on it. So I am going to send this one. It's going to go over my weight limit, so I'm going to put it into 2 mailers. One can go in a large, one can go in a medium. Okay, we got another new listing. This one is called Awakening Fertility, the Essential Art of Preparing for Pregnancy. Again, just listed this month and sold for $26.99. I've got this little bundle here, looks like 7 books, and the series is called The World of the Unexplained. They have been listed since September 23. I have sold them for $29.99. So I'm glad that the September 23, that's longer than I'd like. I don't remember where I got those books from. Okay, this is another new listing, The Shadow of Solomon. This one has sold for $19.99. Got something sticky on my finger. Another brand new listing. This one is called Treasure and Dirt by Chris Hammer. It's come from the cages, $19.99. I think actually I've sold 2 of those books. I think I had 2 of them from the cages and both of them have now sold. Okay, this one is Echoes by David Grammel. It is a fantasy book. It is a hardcover. It's been listed since September. Sold for $19.99. Okay, now I've got this religious book, KRSNA. It's spiritual religion. This one comes in like a small book as well. This is the larger size. I've sold it multiple times. I definitely sold this book multiple times. And this one, the larger one, has sold for $29.99. Now I've sold this little fake leather Bible. That one has just sold for $15. It's been listed since September last year. I don't normally pick Bibles up like that. I normally like to get them like the proper leather ones or the leather look ones. That one's kind of like the vinyl-y plastic looking one. I don't normally buy them, so it's possibly come in some kind of haul or something, but yeah, it's not the type of Bible I would normally look for with that plastic. Like it just kind of, it looks fairly cheap, I guess. Okay, I've got another book bundle of these gems and gemology magazines going out to Louise, who ordered the other ones from me before. She just ordered 2 before in one lot and then 1 in this lot. Her orders have just been placed at different times of the day, so they've come through differently for me. Okay, that one. This book, Australia's Native Plants. This is the fully revised and expanded edition, the 4th edition. This one has sold for $28.99. It's been listed since October last year, so that's not bad. Fits into a small mailer, $28.99. Okay, now I've got the Joshua Wiseman and Unapologetic Cookbook. This is a fairly new book. Joshua Wiseman is quite a he's popular with the young ones. Anyway, I thought that I listed that one for $29.99 and it sold for $26.91. I did have someone, as soon as I listed it, it's only a brand new listing, I did have someone, as soon as I listed it, offer me like lower. I think it was like $15 or something, half the price. And I was just like, no, it's a brand new listing. I know I'm going to get at least $25 for that book. And so, yeah, sold for the $26.91. So I'm glad I counted that one. I'm glad I counted that one. Okay, now I've got a bundle of Minecraft books here, just kids, young adult, teen fiction. This has gone out to a viewer as well, Nikki. So thank you so much. No, not Nikki. Where is it? I've got reading the long one. Elizabeth. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. These are Minecraft. It's a very popular game, isn't it? I know my kids, they still love playing Minecraft, and they're older. They're like 15 and 20, and I still find them playing Minecraft. So I'm sure your team will love those books. Now we've got The Thrifty Chick. This is a nice looking book, almost like could be used on a coffee table. This one is sold for $27.99. It's been listed since October last year, so it hasn't been listed too long. I kind of find these ones, these kind of like home styling, either like shabby chic, thrifty chic. You can home lifestyle looks. Sometimes you get them on like the retro home or, yeah, those kind of books, they do make nice coffee table books, and I think that's why people buy them a lot of the time, obviously to look through and read, but also as like little statement pieces. So yeah, $27.99. Right, now this is going out to Alex, who is another viewer, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books on kids party foods, I think, or just kids baby food. Baby and toddler cookbook, kids baby food, kids healthy lunch boxes, junior chef, food fit and healthy for kids, healthy babies food, cooking for tots and toddlers. You get the gist. You can see while I've bundled that whole lot up, you know, all low-end cookbooks individually that would be very hard to move, but bundling them up creates a value bundle that's enticing. And, you know, now they are going out to Alex, who is a viewer. Thank you very much, Alex. And I'm so grateful for all these viewers. I just can't believe it. Every time I see another viewer, I'm like, what is going on? I took up a run of post, stopped and got some lunch. I needed the break anyway. I've been sweating like a pig in here. Anyway, I'm back. I've got a whole lot more orders. I've still got a few that I'm trying to figure out. There's just so many multi-orders, and just trying to get all the multi-orders correct with so many orders. I've got multiple international orders here, which I'm leaving to last. Okay, I have got 5 Michael Christian thriller books. Now, these ones have sold for $45. They've just been listed this month. Nice, fast, quick sale. Michael Christian is quite a popular crime and thriller author, so it doesn't really surprise me that that bundle has already sold. $45, 5 large fiction books, popular, sought after author, great value bundle. 4 cookbooks here. Now these are part of the 150 Great Recipe collection. There's a whole lot of them in the set, but I've bundled these 4 together: the dessert kitchen, the bake kitchen, the raw kitchen, and the easy kitchen. I put those 4 together and they've sold for $37.50. Okay, I have got a bunch of slow cooking books here. There's 8 of them in this bundle. They've sold for $31. Some of these are really small, like there's just no chance that would have sold as an individual book. So it's either bundle it together or, you know, redonate them to the thrift shop. So yeah, this is good. I'm happy with that. That's been listed since August last year. Okay, The Real Food Companion by Matthew Evans. Now, this is one of those cookbooks that looks nice. It's big. Like, it kind of looks like a nice quality cookbook that would sell for a lot of money. And in fact, a couple of days ago, I was up in one of Tom's warehouses and he was going through some of his own cages, because he's got his own cages as well. And he pulled this book out, and he doesn't really know cookbooks, not like I know cookbooks. And he was like, yes, this is a good cookbook. And I was kind of looking at it and I was like, I know. It looks like a nice cookbook, but it's only a low-end cookbook. So, yeah, it's a little bit deceiving, that one. But anyway, it's only been listed since October, so it's sold relatively quickly. but only sold for $17.99. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I've had a few near misses on my on my labels today. Okay, what do we got? 0193. Okay, this bundle of books has sold for $31.97. It's women's fiction, all by the same author, Barbara Hannay. So, yeah, she kind of just writes. She's an Australian author, so she writes Australian sagas, I guess. And, yeah, so those ones have gone out, $31.97. It's not too bad, not too bad. Okay, I've got 4 books here. These are going out to a viewer, Narelle. Thank you very much, Narelle. We've got Ruth Cracknell, A Journey from Venice. We've got John Little, Catherine's Gift. We've got Celeste Barber. She is one funny comedian. I like her anyway. I like following her on social media. She's an Australian comedian and I think she's quite funny. And the Mindfulness and Acceptance Workbook for Anxiety. So I literally only just pulled this one out of when I was cleaning up like 2 videos ago, and I showed it in that video. And that one is now sold. So there we go. 4 books going out to Narelle. Thanks, Narelle. Okay. Yeah, Celeste Barber, this comedian, Australian comedian. Now, I'm one of these people who doesn't find things funny. Like I don't ever understand the jokes until after the joke has been. Like I'm one of those people. It's very annoying. So like Tom tells me jokes and then he sits there like, thinks it's so funny, and I'm like still sitting there like trying to process the joke to see what's actually funny. Because I don't know. Don't ever take me to a comedian show, because everyone will be laughing and I'll just be laughing looking at all the people. I won't actually be laughing looking at the jokes. So, but that's Celeste Barber. She's got a humour that I do understand, and she kind of like she gets like she finds funny photos or video little reels or something that influencers or famous people have done, and then she kind of like she does them herself with like her real body. In terms of like she's got all these perfect models and they do a pose and then she does it with her like real woman pose, real woman body. Anyway, I find her quite funny. Okay. Right, now I've got another war book here going out. Peter Fitzsimmons, Victory at Villas Bretons. Don't ask me, it's a French word, I gather, and I am terrible at pronouncing things. That book is sold for $19.99 and I have only just listed it. There we go. Now, the next order is a large multi-order and it's spread on my phone. Like she's ordered a couple, then somebody else has ordered, then she's ordered a couple more, and so I've had to kind of put them all together, which has been part of the tricky process when the multi-orders kind of get split up. So I'm going to show you all of her books, but I just can't find them all here to tell you how much they all came to. But these are going out to Jodie, who is a viewer of mine, and she's bought many, many books from me. So this is what we've got today. Easy Italian, Stephanie Alexander, The Cook's Companion, and The World Table by Women's Weekly. Okay, so these 3 books are going out now in a bundle. I'm going to wrap them up because Jodie has ordered like a lot of heavy books, big cookbooks, a lot of cooking books, and a lot of them are heavy. So in Australia, I use flat rate shipping, which means all of my parcels have a weight limit of 5 kilos if I want to use these mailers, which is what I like to use. Just keeps my systems moving as quickly as I can. So 5 kilo weight limits. So this is why I measure these out, all because Jodie's got so many books here in her order. So I measure them out into bundles that will fit in the large satchel, but also that fit within the 5 kilo weight limits. Okay, so this is 1. Number 2. What do we got now, Jodie? Right, we've got the Margaret Fulton Bessemer cookbook. We've got the Legos Italian cookbook. We've got the Complete Italian Food. And we got the complete book of modern entertaining. So again, four books, or at least two of them are big books. This is that's a heavy book. And this Italian book is heavy. I've written Jodie 4 thank you cards. They've all got different little messages on them. But I'm trying to write, whenever I see a book that comes through and there's a message on it, like where you can leave a message to the buyer, like if it's from a viewer, I'm trying to put a thank you card in it. If it's somebody that I'm not sure if it's viewer, I'm still kind of putting a thank you card in it. So even doing all the thank you cards at the moment, that's something I've never had to do because I've never had this many orders from viewers that I've known about anyway. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get some different types of thank you cards made up so that I can put one at least in every single order. The next two in Jodie's order, again, these two books, they're nearly 5 kilos, which is 11 pounds between them. The Complete Book of Modern Asian and the Complete Book of Modern Classics. So I think Jodie got all 3 of the books in this the Modern Asian, the Modern Classics, and what was the other one? The Modern Entertaining. And I think this is Jodie's last order. The Ultimate Slow Cooker, Nana's Italian Cookbook, and the Margaret Fulton Cookbook. I think every single one of her books in that order was a cookbook. Imagine if we could have like a big reseller get-together with all my viewers who cook and everyone could just bring like a potluck. Everybody who's bought a cookbook off me could just make something and we could all just have a big reseller meetup. And wouldn't that be amazing? I would like that. I would love to have a reseller meetup one day. Okay, this little book is on leather braiding and it's only sold for $14.40. But yeah, it's a unique little book, which is why I kind of put it into the store. But $14.40. It didn't take up much space and it was on a very unique subject, but it's been listed since September, so it's not too bad, but for such a niche market, I would say that is. This is a book, The Royal Australian Navy, and it's part of the Australia in the War series. There's quite a few books in this series and I've sold quite a lot of them before. Got a couple more listed as well, although I'm not sure they're Navy ones, they might be Army. But this book has been listed since September and that book has sold for $55. And I remember the book fair that I got that one from and the books were $1. So $1 into 55, they had a whole lot of them. I saw them and I was like, yes, perfect. I know those ones. Now I've sold 2 more war books. These ones have just been listed. I had a whole lot of war books from one of the cages and I've listed them and, you know, not all of them have sold, but some of them are starting to move, which is good. The Band of Brothers and the Great World War, 1914 to 1945. So I guess 2 books on autobiographies and true stories, true war stories. And yeah, they were really good actually because I got like a whole heap of them in one of the cages. And I kind of was able to use the same listing template for all the books. So it made it really quick for me to list because I really only had to change the name of the book and the author and all the item specifics, war, military, combat, biography, they all kind of stayed the same. So that made it really, really, really handy for me. I love it when that happens. It sounds like there's a Mr. Whippy car driving around outside. Do you have Mr. Whippy in America and UK and Canada and Germany and wherever you're from? Mr. Whippy's like an ice cream truck and I feel like I'm dripping and melting and would love an ice cream. No, Mr. Whippy. Now guys, did you know that sometimes if you've got a sticky residue on your book, that an eraser gets it off? So sometimes you'll see me doing the covers of the books quickly and it might just be like there's a little mark or a little sticky bit on it. And the eraser gets it off. Right, now this is two books. This is sold for $49.99, so this is a great sale. Jamie Oliver's 7 Ways. This is one of his newer looking cookbooks. It's got the nice hot pink spine, so it's easy to see. And this is Pippa Middleton's book about Celebrate. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but Kate Middleton, Pippa Middleton obviously is Kate Middleton's sister. The Middleton family own an online party business where they sell kids' party supplies. And Pippa's written a book here on entertaining. Now, years and years and years ago, maybe, let me work out how many, I reckon about 18, 19 years ago, when I've always been the type of person who runs my own businesses, right? So I had my kids when I was young. And then when my kids kind of got to school age and they started going to birthday parties all the time, and I was hosting these kids' birthday parties, I got right into it. Like my obsessive compulsive, like had to make these birthday parties like the best ever for my kids. And I got really into like wanting to theme all the birthday parties, and I loved it. So what I actually did was I created my own business. This was my first online business that I ever had. And it wasn't the first business I had, but the first online one. And back then, the computers, like, it wasn't very easy to find everything online. So I created my own website. I made this online party store. I imported all my party supplies from America by shipment over here to Australia. And I had a party business that was online called the Speckled Freckled Party Place. And gee, I had some fun, and my kids had some amazing birthday parties while I had that business, because it was all advertising for my business. Whenever I would do a big birthday party, oh, it was the full works. I'd get professional photographers out there and I'd use it all to help advertise the business, and it was amazing. But I actually modeled my business off the Middleton family in UK. Their party website was my favorite website, and I loved all the party supplies that they had. And I actually tried to almost mimic it in my own Australian way, slightly different, obviously nowhere near to scale or as big, because they were multi-millionaires doing this party business. And I can't remember what their party shop was called, but I'm sure it's still online somewhere. And yeah, anyway, I'd look at all their themes and I would import all the same ones, and yeah, I love it. So I've actually got that Pippa Middleton book in my personal collection because it brings back a lot of memories for me when I was doing my own party business. And yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Okay, this is a dangerous book for boys. Brand new listing into the store again. This one has sold for $19.99. So a lot of kind of $19.99 sales going into the store. But to be honest, I'm pricing a lot of things at $19.99 at the moment because I've got such sheer quantity. I don't want stuff left on the shelf. So maybe once before I would have listed that at $22, but like now it's just like, let's move them out. Let's move them out as quick as I can because I don't have room. Now this one here, brand new listing again, Profile by Alex Carver, just a fiction book, crime and thriller. This book is sold for $19.99. Now, this book is sold to a viewer who said they've bought this as a gift for someone in their family. So it's really long panoramic book by Ken Duncan, and it's all on beautiful panoramic pictures of within Australia. So this is a lovely book, and this is going to take one of my extra large satchels, and it's going to take a couple of my padded mailers here. So extra larger satchels, right? If you're Australian, you just order these at the post office in lots of about 10 or something. See? Perfect. Must be an old listing. It's gone out on the 40% off sale. It's only sold for $12, but it's out the door. The Enchanted Garden came from my Hoarders Haul 2022. Happy for those to just, I'm just so happy when I got, if you don't know, when I found a Hoarders Haul back in 2022, this old man went to a nursing home and his ex-wife was the only family member that still was in town. And so she had to deal with cleaning up like his entire mess. And he was a hoarder, and basically he would go up to the thrift shops every single day, she said, and he would just come home, throw the book on the floor, and then climb into bed and sleep. And that was like his daily routine. He'd walk up the shops, buy books, come home, put them on the floor, and then go to bed. And literally, like, his whole apartment was just thick deep with books. And it was right when COVID hit, and she boxed these books up into boxes, full size, like moving boxes. You couldn't even move them at all. They were so heavy. She lived in a 2-story apartment. None of the charity shops, because of COVID, were accepting any donations. She had his house being photographed to go on the market because he'd gone into the nursing home, and she had to organise the ex-husband. He was the ex-husband. She had to organise everything because her 2 children lived overseas. I feel sorry for her. She was in her 80s. She was absolutely exhausted, and she was just absolutely desperate to move these books, and nobody would come and get them because of COVID. So here I came to the rescue. And that haul was very, very profitable for me. There was books, there was all types of stuff, not just books. And it was very, very profitable haul for me. And I remember I tracked it for a long time. So in the SKU, I wrote hoarder, and it just reminded me that it came from that haul. But every now and then you'll hear me say, oh, this one came from the hoarder haul, because it's still in the SKU saying hoarder. And that's how I know that it came from that haul. But it's very interesting that I sold a lot of books very quickly from the haul. He had a very unique collection, and he had a lot of stuff that was worth a lot of money. But it is interesting that, like, literally 3 years down the track, I am still seeing his books move through my store, hoarder. And yeah, it's very interesting. But it was a very profitable haul, but gee whiz, it was up there with one of the hardest hauls that I ever done. And back then I'd never done big hauls like that. So the whole thing was a learning experience for me. There are videos. I'm sure if you go into the search bar on my videos and search in hoarder, you will find the videos from the Hoarders Haul. I can't find it to see how much it is. But I'm pretty sure this is for Tom anyway. And Tom is a repeat buyer from me. So he's got just 4 ingredients. We've got Dinner Time. This was originally a book for the Starlight Children's Foundation, which is a charity here within Australia that helps out at the Children's Hospital. So that was originally one of their cookbooks. We've got another one here for Just 4 Favourites, and we've got Great Fast Recipes. So we've got a bit of a theme going there for Tom. We've got fast, easy, quick, home-cooked family meals. Nice easy ones with 4 ingredients as well. Okay, thank you very much, Tom. I don't know if you watch me, actually, I've got no clue. But if you do, thank you. Oh guys, I'm sweating. These pick and packs now, I can't even imagine Tom. He's over 800 items today to pick and pack, and I've got like 200, and I just can't, nearly 200. It's probably been 200 with the extra ones that are coming through the day that I've been trying to grab into it. And I myself am exhausted. Now this order came to $166 in total. It's 3 bundles, but all of them are large, and I'm going to have to put them each into individual mailers. Which is a little bit of a pain, but it is what it is. Now, this one is 3, 6, 8 books by Sylvia Day. So Sylvia Day writes erotic romance novels. So spicy novels, I like to say. Those ones have been listed since September 24. And I'm pretty sure earlier in the day I sold another bundle of Sylvia Day. Oh, no, actually. No, that was Maria Snyder, wasn't it? Okay, so we've got this one now. This is another book. This is a series called Bold Strokes. And again, these are romantic, erotic novels. So there's a large bundle of them. A large bundle of them here. Some sexy time coming for this reader. Okay, and the other bundle going out to the same buyer here is 6 books, all by Nicole Alexander, Australian women's author. I would say these are not like erotic romance like the other ones. These are more like romance, modern, contemporary, family drama, that kind of, not as spicy as the other ones. The other ones are spicy. Right, now, cookie preserving. I have sold so many cookie books, I can't even tell you how many cookie books have gone out. There's another big multi-order with cookie books. There's one cookie book that I've sold the same cookie book 3 times, and one of them went out earlier today. And I've got another order with the same cookie book, and I can't see it up there. So I hope I haven't double listed it, because it's exactly the same as the book that went out earlier. So I've got to hunt around a little bit more for the for that cookie book. But I'm just like, I was picking and I'm like, cookies, 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 cookies. All these cookies. This bundle of 4 books is going out to a repeat buyer. This repeat buyer has bought a lot of books from me over the time. And so they've bought here the complete book of preserving, the complete book of cookies, the irresistible biscuits, brownies and bars, and cookies over 600 great recipes. So somebody likes cookies. And somebody would be me. I would quite happily enjoy a nice, what type of cookie is my favourite? I do like an Anzac cookie, like a homemade one, but it has to be bendy, you know, like soft, not crunchy. I'm not like a crunchy cookie fan. Like, I love them when they're like soft and bendy. And when I was a kid, my mum used to make one called like a melting moment. That was delicious. And I mean, I guess there's a good old chocolate chip cookie. I got a big chocolate chip cookie recipe I used to make when my kids were young, and it like literally used to make like 200 cookies or something. You could make like this massive batch for it, bake cookies for hours, and then freeze them all up. And you know what? If you eat cookies from the direct from the freezer, so you bag them up into little snap lock bags, put them in the freezer, they stay so fresh and they're yummy to eat cold. That's my cookie hack for you. Eat the cookies cold, direct from the freezer. Right, now we've got a cupcakes, muffins and baked goods book going out to Ian here. This book is sold on the 40% off sale. It has been listed since January 2023, so I have let this one go for $12. And those cupcakes on the cover look real good. Okay, got another bundle of craft magazines going out here, Craft Arts. These look similar to the Gems one. They're kind of like the same style magazine, thick, glossy, heavy magazines. But these Craft Art ones, they've sold them on a coupon as well, 40% off. It's taken them down to $24. But they are heavy, those magazines, so I like to move them on as quick as I can. Now, this is an old vintage complete Oriental cookbook. This book has only been listed since September last year. It's not very long. I have sold this book many, many times over the years, but today this one has gone out for $15. Okay, now I've got another multi-order here. Now we've got The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, 3 books in the trilogy here by Stieg Larsson. We've got Food Shock. We've got My Year of Living Vulnerably. Beyond Belief, Living a Fearless Life. Ooh, I would like to read a couple of those. Step by Step Art School and Drawing. So I'm not sure what the total of that order is. I can't see it, but I am very, very grateful for another multi-order. These multi-orders, they have kept me on my toes today. I'm pretty sure we've hit the 200 200 item marks by the time I've been like had more listings coming in through the day that just keep, every time I refresh, there's more listings there to do. So I'm trying to keep picking them as I go to keep on top. And so many multi-orders, so many multi-orders. I'm very, very grateful. Okay, I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to go take a drink because I am sweltering. I don't know. It's just been a massive day. It's 4:30, guys. It has taken me all day. Like, I came in here this morning. I listed 20 items. I did, first thing, I listed 20 items, and then I did some like admin stuff, and then I started picking and packing, and now it's 4:30. It's taken me all day to pick and pack these orders. Like, imagine if every day was like this. You'd get nothing else done. And then I definitely need some stuff. I got a lot of comments. About people asking me about when I'm going to get a staff member, or you need a staff member, or they're like Tom and they're like, you need a staff member. And I promise I'm making a Q&A video that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. As soon as I get a chance to sit down and like really think about that video, I know exactly what I want, and that's going to be one of the questions that I answer in there about me discussing when or if I'm getting a staff member. This pick and pack today probably has had the most multi-orders out of any pick and pack that I've done. Every single Monday, or today, Tuesday, because of the long weekend, I have been absolutely smashed with orders. It just keeps getting more and more and more. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm so, so, so very grateful. Thank you for watching me and all my packing of my orders. Maybe soon I'm going to have to cut them back to like only like a certain amount, because they're just going to be never-ending. The never-ending story. I'll be like me, the never-ending packing videos. Right, I'm going, guys. I'm losing the plot. See ya. Bye. Guys, I found the cookie book. I had a pile sitting next to my computer desk waiting for me to like do stock take on. They were the ones that I was working on. And I just looked down and the cookie book was on it. I'm like, oh my goodness. So let me show you the rest of the cookie order. The cookie book, greatest book of cookie book, Australia's Sweetest Baking, Baking for Friends, The Family Medical Companion, Herbs and Spices, Blinky Bill and Snugglepot and Cuddle Pie book lot, more cookies, biscuits, bars and brownies, and the Bushwhackers Australian Songbook. If you're a viewer and that is your order, thank you. I'm so glad I found your cookie book. And look, I'll just show it here as well, because I have to pack this international one up. We've got the Complete Australian Barbecue Kettle Cookbook here. We've got Australia's Sweet Baking Favourites, and we got the Gluten-Free Revolution. This is going over to the UK, and I have to go and process the order for that. The label. And then, guys, look. These books are all going over internationally as well. I've got Mills and Boons, and I've got like a whole lot of like cooking books and fiction books and all types of books. And I'm going to pack those up now, slowly. Thank you. I found the cookie book. Yes. I don't think I'm missing any orders. Woohoo!